Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're diving into the world of Cardano, but this time we're not taking a look at any technical analysis. In fact, there's some pretty big news I think is worth covering and something that I think is going to have a pretty good effect on the entire ecosystem. So guys, as we get into this, if you do find it useful and informative, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. Right guys, obviously this is a bit of a bump to something that we are probably going to discuss quite a bit over the Cardano Summit. Now, for anyone who is in the UK, Chris and myself will be down at Cardano Summit on Saturday. So if you're in the area, do check it out. Do say hi. We will be there and it'll be fantastic to chat with you all live, which will be cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at something that's been kind of blogged about via 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦 ahead of the summit, and something that we'll probably actually talk quite a bit about during the weekend. So let's jump on down and get into what's being spoken about right now and why this is a big deal. Okay guys, we're going to start with this. So basically what the Cardano have basically put out there, or 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦 have put out there, is all about certified dApps on the Cardano ecosystem. So I'm not going to read the entire thing, I'll just give you some of the highlights, right? So the Alonzo upgrade has enabled the deployment of smart contracts and, of course, decentralized applications or dApps and other applications on top of the Cardano ecosystem. This is obviously a hugely significant for Cardano as it opens Cardano to a whole new developer community whose creative drive will boost Cardano's utility and, of course, adoption. So obviously I'm not going to read it all, but basically an influx of new third-party applications also poses an inherited risk to inappropriate or miscellaneous material or content that is simply not up to standard. So addressing discovery and quality assurance issues is key to early ecosystem growth, right? Something that I think is pretty common knowledge at this point in time. Obviously, you need to make sure that quality assurance is there, but also the discoverability is absolutely vital, right? This is something we often see or take advantage of and take for granted maybe with iPhones and iPads and things like that with the App Store, right? We also see the Play Store with the Google phones and the Google Play Store, right? And everything that goes on there. So ultimately, I think you need to have similar kind of approach, right? And dApp discovery on Cardano. This is where things really kind of get into the juicy stuff, right? So the dApp Store will preview a prototype at the summit, so we'll look forward to that. It's where basically developers will be able to upload their dApps running on Cardano and make them available to others in the world, right? Or in the store. Will basically provide a trusted and an environment for developers to publish their dApps without facing censorship, etc. So this is going to be something that I think is absolutely vital, specifically in the space, right? We often find that discoverability of dApps are actually quite difficult. It's usually word of mouth or from social medias and basically just kind of spreading the word about certain things. The Plutus dApp Store significantly addresses two barriers of entry, right? There is currently no formal discovery process for a dApp. Almost all discoveries happen through organic or word-of-mouth means or social media marketing, etc. And the other thing that it's going to address is basically, for front or for end users, there is no, consolidated view of all dApps available to a given ecosystem, right? So these are the two things that the Plutus dApp Store significantly are going to be addressing, those two barriers, right? So users will be able to access the Plutus dApp Store using the web browser. Think of the Plutus dApp Store as a storefront for Cardano. I'm thinking of this more as like an app store kind of scenario, right? So it's an interface that allows you to basically browse all the dApps that are available on Cardano. So this is going to be pretty cool. I think this is going to be a big milestone for Cardano, but also just for blockchain tech in general. So I'm looking super forward to kind of getting my eyes on this prototype. So the store displays the range of things that you can do on Cardano. A certification program gives users assurance about the behavior of any apps that they use through automated logic checks, manual smart contract auditing, and formal verification. So again, I think that's a really good step to have there, and I think it's going to be quite important to see that these dApps that are being built on the Cardano ecosystem do have that kind of quality assurance about them. I think it's vital, and there is a lot of things in this space that we might take for granted for in the Web 2.0 scenario, right, where you have a dApp that's kind of already kind of gone through a lot of verification processes already. Although some of the ones that do end up on the Play Store or the Apple Store or whatever, they're not exactly the best. Some of them are obviously fake, but they obviously can get taken down, etc. But with this, I think going through these logic checks, going through these manual smart contract auditing and formal verification is going to really help protect retail investors in the space as well. So I think this is actually a really positive, although it can obviously be seen or can be deemed to also be quite negative from certain perspectives as well. I do think something like this is definitely needed in the earlier stages. Whether or not this changes in the future is going to be interesting. But for now, I think this is very much needed, unfortunately, to keep the place very safe, right? But any dApps that any dApp can exist on the store, whether certified or uncertified, but will provide users with the clear information about a particular dApp's certification status. The dApp store seeks not to act as a gatekeeper or judge, and that's actually a really good point, because you see that actually happen quite a bit with the Apple Store, for example. They actually are a bit of a gatekeeper. You can or you cannot go on there with certain things, for example. So it's good to see that they're allowing any dApp to kind of get put onto the store, but obviously, to show that status of certified versus uncertified, I think is actually really good for the end user. So I think that's critical. So obviously, not to act as a judge or just as a gatekeeper or anything like that, but to rather provide a platform for transparent user assessment, and I think that's absolutely vital. So I think this is absolutely fantastic stuff. Again, this is a bit of a snippet of what we're looking forward to at the summit. So a crucial role for certification. I'm not going to go through all of this, guys. I will link this into the video description so you guys can check it out. I will try to keep this video brief, but this, in my opinion, is pretty big news. And I do think that we're going to start seeing some more dApps get built on this ecosystem in the coming weeks and months. And I think this is going to be absolutely huge to see this prototype go from where it is today to actually getting out there live and actually being utilized, because as we say, dApp discovery is a huge issue, and obviously that quality assurance is also a vital issue as well. So for me, this is something that I think is going to be really useful, really user friendly, and will aid in that mass adoption that Cardano is seeking. So overall, I think this is fantastic news. I think this is a big piece of news that I think is something that we can all look forward to. Now we have the smart contract functionality there and across the line. I do think that the next few weeks to months are going to be very exciting for Cardano, and we're going to see some pretty cool things get created for the ecosystem, and it'd be fantastic to have a portal that we can use to go and discover it all. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic, guys. I'm not going to go on and on and on about it. I've been rambling now for about 7 minutes or so, but guys, I do think that it's worth a read. I'm going to link it in the description below. Do check it out. It's fantastic news. I think it's going to really help with the adoption, and obviously if you're just a speculative investor in ADA and you're not overly fussed about the dApp side of things or the utility side of things, this will significantly increase the adoption. Increasing the adoption will increase the transactions. Increasing the transactions will increase the amount of use case for ADA. The more that ADA gets used, the more demand for ADA there is, and the more demand there is for ADA, the higher the price will push. Overall, I'm incredibly bullish on Cardano, not only from a utility point of view, but also from a speculative price point on the ADA side of things as well. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new, why not subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. With that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.